I would like to thank the good counsel for their willingness to explore or to implement Rule 130, Section 7. At least we have aligned with what we are expected to do before this honorable court. In fact, Your Honor, earlier this morning, I was asked by one of her partners about the comparison. And I actually told her partner, Attorney Lazaro, Attorney, we don't even need to compare the exhibits in order to expedite the proceedings, because first of all, that's the authenticity of the exhibits is something is something that the court will have to decide, and the court will only decide on that after the prosecution has already submitted their offer of evidence, and that will be subject to our comment. And there's no need for us to actually compare the exhibits just so we can arrive at a stipulation that this and that are the same. And also, Your Honor, with regard to the identification of the witness of the exhibits, that goes into the witness competence. No, we did not stipulate here in open court that the witness is competent to identify the exhibits, Your Honor, kasi hindi naman ho namin kilala ho yung taga-COA. Pangalawa, we don't know the extent of her examination of the documents. Pangatlo, she just assumed the work of Mr. Wamil. So, mahirap naman po sabihin nun ng kliyente namin, sige, okay na, we payag na kami, she can identify the exhibit, she knows all of those, she has examined all of those. Precisely, that's the duty of the counsel to do in open court. Now, there's Rule 130, Section 7, and for those of you who are litigating before the CTA, you already know this rule, that a witness can testify based on the summary, and that would actually show that he's competent to testify on the exhibits by reason of the summary that she made. And that would attest that she has examined all of the documents that are contained in the summary. That's why yun po yung sinuggest ko sa counsel ng kabila. Sabi ko, we will not even object, attorney, as to how many exhibits you will identify, or you will have a samples, kahit 10 per quarter, or kahit 100, or kahit wala. Diba? If you check Rule 130, Section 7, hindi naman ho ni-require na isa-isahin ho yun. At hindi ho nire-require, Your Honor, na kailangan ho namin mag-stipulate on the exhibits, on the authenticity, so that they can use Rule 130, Section 7. And if properly done po, Your Honor, I think they can identify or they can finish all 1 quarter in less than 10 minutes. I'm talking about that, no? I'm talking about that based on experience. So, Your Honor, we don't object to their implementation of Rule 130, Section 7, as to the manner by how they will do it. We will also not object, but subject to cross-examination, Your Honor. Thank you.
The manifestation of Attorney Christine is noted. Chair will make a ruling so that we can move on.
May I just respond to this, Your Honor?
Ako na magre-respond. Ako na magre-respond
briefly.
para sa kanya. Sa'yo, Attorney Kapunan. The chair did make a ruling, issue an order for the parties to try to meet Friday or Thursday. However, for whatever reason, lack of lawyers or inclement weather, that did not happen. Chair would just like to correct, hindi ka Attorney Lorna ininjan, baka ginost ka. Kasi hindi ka sinagot eh. Pero hindi ka ininjan, wala namang pinag-usapan date pa eh.
Inignore.
Ghost na nga eh. Ghost
Ginost,
bago ngayon.
ginost.
Hindi na. Ghost na yung bagong.
Ghosting.
But having said that,
Ghosting.
the chair notes, because the chair also inquired, that given what happened in the pre-trial, wherein the copies of the exhibits marked by the respondent, no copies were retained by the court. So the chair would like to request the counsels for respondent to kindly furnish the court with a copy of the marked pieces of evidence during pre-trial, kasi apparently meron kaming pre-marked pieces of evidence from the prosecution, but not all the pre-marked pieces of evidence from the respondent. So in lieu of meeting, kindly just submit that, Attorney Christine, so that we can do the comparison ourselves, either as a court or through the individual senator judges.
We will comply, Your Honor.
Kindly do that within the day or at the latest tomorrow. If you have it with you, within the day. If not, at the latest of tomorrow, so that whatever may happen, the court will already have a copy of these pre-marked documents. In relation to Ms. Eileen, As stated by Attorney Christine already, they will not object to the presentation of a table and/or summary citing Rule 130, Section 7 in relation to 3C. Therefore, we may proceed with her and hopefully be able to finish also Ms. Pareja today. Counsel, can you proceed?
Your Honor, please, can I just make a brief manifestation?
Yes, Attorney Kapunan.
While really, indeed, Section 7, Rule 130 is applicable, may we note that this summary, Your Honor, is being used to establish the rulings, the provision says, when the facts sought to be established is only the general result of the whole. So that summary will just establish the fact that these were the very same documents given by the defense counsel to the COA, Your Honor.
And that these were the
And-
very same documents or ARs used by the COA in coming out with the respective issuances that they did.
Yes,
To
Your
include the
Honor. And
AOMs,
so
the notices of
therefore,
suspension, and the notice of disallowance.
if we can get that from, because we don't want to be held in ambush with subsequent witnesses who will use some portions of this acknowledgement receipts for subsequent witnesses, Your Honor, who we have subpoenaed for this impeachment proceedings, Your Honor. They might say, and I don't want to speculate, or I don't want to, anyway, ghosting ba yun? I don't want to anticipate the strategy, but we will have subsequent witnesses who will testify to specific acknowledgement receipts, Your Honor. And they might say, you did not identify them, you only identified the summaries. So, Your Honor, if we can get a stipulation now from counsel for the defense that when a acknowledgement receipt is presented through another witness, Your Honor, they will not object because precisely they stipulated that the summary
Counsel, again, let's abbreviate the proceedings. That's always subject to cross.
Subject
If you
to
present
cross,
a
Your Honor.
document and their copy says otherwise, then they can confront the witnesses during cross-examination as to the difference of that document. But if not, then I guess they will skip crossing the witness on that point. As an implied admission that indeed the document she based it on or the document she testified on is indeed the same copy as what they do. But by that time, counsel, we will have a copy already of both documents and the court can
In
make the
fact-
appropriate ruling at the appropriate time.
One last, Your Honor.
Yes, Attorney
last.
Kapunan. Attorney Lorna.
We would have preempted. We would have saved this honorable court considerable time if they just agreed to use their documents. We don't need even this clerk of court, even the presiding officer, even the honorable judges don't need to make comparison. We are amenable to use the defense exhibits, Your Honor.
Attorney
may I-
Lorna.
Because these exhibits, Your Honor.
Attorney Lorna, the chair considered that too when you made that manifestation. However, as I said, given the fact that we don't have a copy, I guess you don't have a copy too of their exhibits. So they
Can
would
I
have to sift through each and every exhibit marked with their own marking to look for, let's say, a particular name in the AR. So once we get the copy, we will furnish you with a copy and you can use that copy if you wish at the appropriate time as well. So asking for a copy will solve many issues, Attorney Lorna. Attorney
Please,
Christine,
please,
yes,
yes,
you want to...
Quick reply, Your Honor. Actually, it doesn't matter if they will use our own exhibits, Your Honor. It doesn't even make their witness competent. That is why we are here in open court to establish the competence. So kahit pagamitin ho namin yung exhibit namin, kung hindi naman ho competent yung witness nyo to identify those exhibits, it will still be a waste of time. It will be useless.
Thank you for that, counsel. Let's now move on. Call your witness, Attorney Kapunan, Attorney Lorna. Clerk of court is directed to kindly escort or assist Miss Eileen May Del Ocampo to the witness stand.
Your Honor, we'd like to call our witness, Ms. Eileen May L. Del Campo.
Miss Eileen, before you sit down, do you understand that you will be continuing with your testimony before this honorable impeachment court under the same oath that you made and was given when you last appeared Wednesday ba? On Wednesday.
Yes po, Your Honor.
You may sit down, ma'am.
Thank you po.
And good morning. Attorney Kapunan, your witness, you may proceed with your cross. Again, sorry, with one more short reminder. You don't have to flip through the individual ARs anymore. We understand that, Attorney Kapunan. We will rely on her table and or summary for the meantime, unless there is a specific AR that you want her to identify and read for the record, then she may simply look at that particular one. But no need to flip through the entire 4,492 ARs just to show that she indeed prepared her table and summary based on the ARs. That is deemed understood already by the court. You may proceed, Attorney Laura.
With the permission of this honorable court, good morning. Good morning to the presiding officer, to the impeachment judges, and good morning, counsel,
Good morning.
the respondent. Good morning, Madam Witness.
Good morning po.
Are you would you like to come closer to the mic? Parang nagkwekwentuhan lang tayo, no? Be comfortable, okay?
Apo.
Now, we will continue with where we broke off at the last hearing, when you were here and we had preliminary questions, no? But I regret that I have to ask you again because just earlier, this counsel for the respondent is questioning your competence. Madam Witness, can you remind us again, how long have you been with the COA?
I have been with COA for the past 11 years. Actually po, magti 12 years na po.
As COA.
Yes po.
And what was your educational background, Madam Witness? Saan ka nag-aral?
I earned po my bachelor degree in Bachelor of Science in Accountancy from St. Louis University po.
At pagkatapos mo nag-graduate sa St. Louis University, saan ka nagtrabaho?
Ang una ko pong naging trabaho is as junior auditor sa isang private firm po sa Baguio City.
And after that,
After 2 years po, nag-apply na po ako sa COA at doon na po ako nag-start noong
And what-
August 26, 2014.
August 26?
2014 po.
Okay. And earlier you said that you were in COA ICFAO, correct?
Yes po.
And what particular activity or duties did you have with this office?
Ang mga naging duties ko po sa COA ICFAO is first to conduct post-audit of the liquidation documents of various government agencies sa liquidation po nila sa Intelligence and Confidential Fund. And draft po an audit observation memorandum, notice of suspension or notice of disallowance po as may be warranted under rules and regulations on settlement of accounts. And after pong mag-respond nung agency, ako rin po ang nag-evaluate ng mga responses po sa mga AOM at notice of suspension.
So based on your narration, 11 years mo na ginagawa to? Nag-i-issue ng audit, observation, memorandum, notice of suspension, notice of disallowance, at pinag-aaralan rin ang mga response ng mga national agencies na covered ng Confidential and Intelligence Fund.
Yes po, tama po.
Tell us, Madam Witness, how many of these national agencies, local government units, public officials, have you conducted a post-audit?
Yung sa national government agencies po, more than 20 na. Sa local po, madami-dami na rin po, mga more than 50. Sa GOCCs naman po, mga less than 10, mga 5 to 10 po.
So more than 20 national agencies, tama? More
Opo.
than 30, 50 local government units?
Yes po.
And,
Mga GOCCs po, mga less than 10.
okay. So when you took over, nung ikaw ang take over kay Attorney Wamil, nung February, when he retired or was transferred to another COA office in February 2024, you were then at that time also in COA ICFAO.
Yes po, tama po.
And ano naman ang participation mo, if any, dito sa pag-post-audit ng confidential funds ng Office of the Vice President at ng DepEd Secretary?
Sa Office of the Vice President po, ang naging participation ko po is dun sa for the period December 21 to 31, 2022, ako po ang nag-evaluate ng response nila sa notice of suspension. Doon naman po sa first to third quarters ng 2023, ako po ang nag-evaluate sa response nila sa mga audit observation memorandum. Sa DepEd naman po, ako po ang nag-evaluate ng responses nila para doon sa dalawang AOM for the first to third quarters of 2023.
Okay, Madam Witness, you took over the functions, or you took over yung mga inaudit ni Attorney Wamil. Are you aware na gumawa siya ng isang tabulation tungkol sa acknowledgement receipts for the last quarter of the Office of the Vice President, December 21 to 31? Are you aware na merong ginawang tabulation si Attorney Wamil?
Yes po, aware po ako sa tabulation ni Mr. Wamil.
If this tabulation is shown to you, and for purposes of identification, Your Honor, this has been previously marked in evidence as P-1-29 for the prosecution. Showing to you, Madam Witness, please go over this tabulation prepared. And may we ask permission for our associate, Attorney J. De La Cruz, to be allowed to present this to the witness.
Assisting counsel of the parties may approach.
Just for the record, Your Honor, the witness is going over the tabulation submitted and marked by by Attorney Wamil, and it is Exhibit P-1-29.
Noted and made part of the records.
Do you confirm, Madam Witness, that ito ang tabulation na sinubmit ni Attorney Wamil sa COA ICFAO office na minana mo sa kanya?
Yes po, ito po yung tabulation na kasama po doon sa mga documents na na-forward sa akin.
Okay. After you received these documents from Attorney Wamil through the office of the COA ICFAO, what happened next?
After po ma-issue yung notice of suspension sa OBP, nag-submit po sila ng response noong March 13, 2024 po.
Itong response na sinasabi mo, meron ka bang kopya? And if shown to you itong response ng Office of the Vice President, will you be able to identify the same?
Yes po.
Your Honor, for easy reference of the presiding officer and this impeachment court, may we ask permission to flash it in the screen, Your Honor?
Counsel may do so. You're referring to Exhibit P-1-13-B
Yes, Your Honor.
and respondents 1-120 OVP.
This is stipulated document, Your Honor.
You may proceed,
So the
counsel.
counsel for the defense is now looking at it. Madam Witness. Having gone over this document, Madam Witness, ito ba yung sinasabi mong letter response ng Office of the Vice President?
Yes po, ito po yung same copy ng response ng OBP sa notice of suspension.
I will now show you, Counsel, JVD. I will now show you the second page of this letter, Madam Witness, being flashed on the screen. Please look at the second page. In particular, we have what appears to be certain signatures. Mga signature na nandyan sa second page ng response ng Office of the Vice President. If shown to you, Madam Witness, would you be able to identify the signatures?
Yes po.
Okay. There is a signature appearing on top of the name Attorney Sulaika Attorney Lopez. There is a signature appearing above the name Attorney Sulaika Lopez. Would you be able to identify that signature?
Yes po.
Bakit? Madam Witness.
Kasama po kasi doon sa sinubmit sa liquidation documents na nabigay sa akin, na turnover sa akin, yung list ng signatories po ng OVP.
At kasama ba doon ang signature ni Attorney Zuleika Lopez?
Yes po.
There is another signature here appearing atop the name Lemuel Ortonio. Please go over this signature and tell us if you are familiar. Nakikilala mo ba tong signature ng isang Ortonio sa dokumentong ito?
Yes po.
Why, Madam Witness?
Kasama din po ito doon sa list ng specimen signature na nasubmit po sa amin doon sa liquidation documents nila.
Okay. And pag alam mo, sino ba itong Attorney Zuleika Lopez?
Based po dito sa dokumento na to, siya po ang Chief of Staff ng OBP.
Okay.
Undersecretary po at Chief of Staff.
Ito naman Mr. Lemuel Ortonio. Sino naman itong Lemuel Ortonio na to?
Based po sa document, siya po ang Assistant Secretary and Assistant Chief of Staff.
Sa letter response na to, na-identify mo, may nakalagay, meron bang naka-attach dito sa letter response?
Yes po, nag-attach po sila ng list of 105 activities ng Office of the Vice President for the period December 13 to 31, 2022.
First quarter ng
Fourth
20
quarter po. Fourth quarter ng 2022. Specifically, December 13 to 31, 2022.
At if we show you this list of activities na inattach sa letter response, will you be able to identify this? We are flashing on
Yes
the
po.
screen, Your Honor, a list of activities which is an attachment to the letter response of the OVP, Exhibit P-1-13B. Whereat yung listahan allegedly ng mga activities ng OVP ay naka-enumerate. Tell us, Madam Witness. Likewise, flash on the screen. Tell us, Madam Witness, ano ang significance nitong mga list ng activities na sinubmit ng Office of the Vice President sa kanyang letter response? Anong ibig sabihin nun? List of activities.
Ito po ay naging attachment nila as documents evidencing success of information gathering and or surveillance activities po na required po kapag nagkakaroon ng payment of rewards.
Anong period cover ditong list of activities?
December 13 to 31, 2022 po.
And what ang observation, itong activities na nakalagay dyan ay prior to the receipt of the Office of the Vice President of its confidential fund. Ito ba ay kino-confirm mo?
Yes po, kasi yung cash advance po for 2022 po is for the period December 21 to 31, 2022.
At kailan na tinanggap ang cash advance?
December 21 po ang start.
Okay. Hindi ba ang ibig sabihin ng liquidation report, sinasabi mo kung ano yung mga pinaggamitan mo ng cash advance? Tama ba yan?
Opo, tama po.
Okay. And sa palagay mo, compliant ba to? Kasi post-audit compliance ba ito?
Based po sa document,
Yeah.
based po sa document na to, hindi po napakita dito na yung proof of success of the information gathering at may mga activities din po dito na from December 13, 15, 17, 18 na hindi po sakop dun sa period of utilization ng cash advance which is for December 21 to 31, 2022.
So you mentioned a joint circular? Meron ka bang anong pinagbasihan mo kung bakit violation ito?
Under po kasi sa Joint Circular 2015-01, kapag po ginamit ang confidential fund sa payment of rewards, subject po ito sa tatlong conditions.
Ano yung mga condition na yan?
First po, it should be approved by the head of agency. Pangalawa po, it should be supported with documents evidencing success of the information gathering and or surveillance activities on account of the information given by the informer. And yung last po is, it should be directly related sa confidential activities ng agency po.
Okay, so ano dyan sa requirements ang sinasabi mo hindi sinunod ng Office of the Vice President?
Ito po kasing listahan na to, sinabit nila as proof of success of information gathering to support the payment of rewards. Pero based po sa documents na to, hindi po namin nakita yung particular accomplishment.
Okay, nakalagay sa dokumento, examples ng activities ng Office of the Vice President for the confidential funds. Pakibasa nga for the record, no? Kasi tama ba yung basa namin? May tree planting, gift giving. Please read for the record, Madam Witness. Ano yung sinasabing pinaggamitan ng confidential funds?
Dito po sa December 13, 2022, Department of Education 2022 Partners Appreciation Night in Mandaluyong City, Metro Manila. December 15, night.
Sandali. Appreciation night.
Opo.
Sa pagkaintindi mo, confidential activity ba yan? O nasa listahan ba yan
Your Honor.
ng confidential activities base sa joint circular?
Based po dun sa enumeration kung saan gagamitin ang confidential fund, hindi po ito nakasama doon.
Basahin mo pa yung iba. So hindi. Ano pa yung iba?
December 15, 2022, Knights of Rizal Supreme Council, 60th year of the Institute in Baguio City, Youth Campaign on Patriotism. At meron din po
Compliant ba to sa listahan?
based po sa joint circular, hindi po ito nakasama dun sa mga activities po under 4.8 kung saan pwedeng gamitin ang confidential fund.
Basahin mo nga lahat ng activities na yan for the record at sabihin mo kung compliant ito. Kung ito ba mga activities ay pinapayagan bilang liquidation ng confidential funds.
Meron po dito December 17, 2022, Christmas activity in Happy Land, Tondo, Manila. Christmas activity and exploration meeting of Extension Office Barangay 101 in Tondo, Manila. Consultation with Barangay Chairman ng Manila in Manila. Pasasalamat and update meeting TODA in Barangay Batasan Hills, Quezon City. May mga activity po dito na pasasalamat, coordination meeting, may mga tree planting po, distribution of wheelchairs, gift giving, medical mission, at iba pong activities ng mga satellite offices po ng Office of the Vice President.
Sa joint circular na minention mo, can you remind us, ano ba talaga ang definition ng confidential funds?
Ang confidential fund po, ito po yung lump sum amount na nasa General Appropriations Act na gagamitin po for confidential activities po ng isang ahensya.
At itong binasa mo, tree planting, Christmas, napakadaming Christmas party, napakadaming award ceremony, yan ba ay pinapayagan sa sinabi mong definition ng confidential funds?
Hindi po.
Hindi po.
With the indulgence of
Your
counsel.
Honor, please.
With the indulgence of counsel. Ms. Eileen, maliban sa hindi pinapayagan o pasok sa pwedeng paggastosan ng confidential fund, yung mga binasa po ninyo, yung gastos ay ginawa rin bago na encash yung cheque.
Kung based po sa document na ito, meron po kasing activities dito na from December 13 to 18 na hindi po sakop dun sa period of utilization based
Apo,
sa
so
accomplishment
labas doon.
report.
Labas doon. So hindi posibleng gamitin yung perang na-release ng 21 para i-reimburse yun kung tama man yung pinagastusan.
Yes po, kasi under the joint circular po, meron pong portion doon na hindi po pwedeng gamitin for reimbursement yung pondo ng
So
confidential.
prospectively lang. So yung mga activities na pwede lang ay 21 to 31.
Opo, tama po.
You may proceed, counsel.
Dahil dito sa sinabi mong violation, wala sa period, no? Yung, as observed by the Honorable Presiding Officer. At dahil wala naman sa listahan sa joint circular kung saan pwedeng gamitin ang confidential funds, ano ang ginawa mo after that, if any?
After po evaluating the response ng OBP at saka po yung mga attachments neto, ako po ay nag-draft ng Notice of Disallowance at isinabit ko po ito sa aking Division Chief for her review.
If I will show you, pag pinakita sa iyo ang isang notice of disallowance for purposes of the record, Your Honor, this has been pre-marked as Exhibit P-1-13-C. Would you be able to identify it?
Opo.
Showing to you, Attorney De La Cruz will show it to you. Please go over this document and tell us if the relationship of this document to the notice of disallowance you have mentioned, and again, we are seeking permission to flash it for easy reference on screen.
Opo, yun po yung same copy ng Notice of Disallowance na inisyu namin sa Office of the Vice President.
Please look, Counsel, please look at this notice of disallowance. There is a signature there. On top of the name Nilda B. Plaras. Kanino pong signature ito?
Si Assistant Commissioner Nilda Plaras po ang officer in charge ng ICFAO nung ma-issue po ang dokumento na ito.
Anong ibig sabihin pag pinirmahan ng isang assistant commissioner ang isang notice of disallowance na drinaft mo?
Ito po is for release na po sa na-approve po niya kung ang laman nito at for release na po ito sa agency.
For release ng agency, okay. Tell us, Madam Witness, itong notice of disallowance ng COA ICFAO, yung recommendation mo, at yung inapprove ng Assistant Commissioner for release, magkano? Magkano ang disallowed ng COA ICFAO?
Ang disallowance po is 73,287,000.
Ano naman ang basis ng disallowance na to?
Ang disallowance po na to, binubuo po ito ng first, yung payment of rewards in the total amount of 69,787,000.
Before you proceed, Your Honor, please, this is being flashed on the screen. This is the first page of Exhibit P-1-13-C, which is the notice of disallowance identified by this witness. First page dyan, Madam Witness, ano ang breakdown or basihan ng iyong notice of disallowance?
Yung 73,287,000, ang bumubuo po dito is yung payment for rewards amounting to 69,787,000 plus yung 3.5 million for payments for tables and chairs, desktop computers, and printers po.
Dalawang amount na naka-indicate dyan. Bakit dalawang amount? Paki-explain.
Ito po ba yung sa number 1 na yung 69,587 at yung sa...
In number 1, in item number 1, if you can check your document on the screen, item number 1 sa notice of disallowance, dalawa ang amount na nakastate. Isa, 69,587,000 at yung isa ay 69,787,000. Ito ba ay typo, discrepancy? Bakit may hindi pareho itong amount?
Ito po ay isang typographical error po. Ang tamang amount po is 69,787,000.
Okay. Ngayon naman, Madam Witness, let us go to page 2, item number 2. Ano naman, pakibasa ang sinabi dito sa page 2, item number 2.
The notice of disallowance po is issued kasi yung pangalawang reason po is charging payment for tables and chairs, desktop computers and printers in the total amount of 3.5 million to confidential fund without specifying that they were intended for the confidential operations/activities undertaken by the OBP, non-compliant with the requirement of item 4.8.4 of the joint circular.
Ano yung item 4.8 ng circular na sinasabi mo?
Pwede po ba akong mag-refer para po sa joint circular?
With the
Your
permission.
Honor,
Witness
Pwede po
witness may refer to the document.
thank you po. Based po sa item 4.8.4 ng Joint Circular, purchase or rental of supplies, materials, and equipment for confidential operations that cannot be done through regular procedures without compromising the information gathering activity concerned.
Okay. Bakit ito rin naging basehan ng disallowance nung tables and chairs na yan? Di ba confidential yon? Kung
Hindi-
saan binili yung table and chair na yan, di ba confidential yon, Madam Witness?
Hindi po kasi nila in-specify na the payments for yung tables and chairs and desktop computers were used for confidential operations po. Wala po silang nasubmit na any explanation dun sa response po nila.
Kailangan ba mag-submit ng... Anong mga kailangan i-submit na dokumento by way of... Para explain kung saan ginamit tong tables and chairs, laptop, tsaka... Anong hinahanap ninyo sa post-audit?
Dapat po mapatunayan nila na ito ay binili para po sa confidential operations ng ahensya.
At anong kailangan na dokumento?
And since this pertains po sa as purchases, dapat po supported ito ng either sales invoice or official receipts po.
Okay. Sa pag-evaluate mo nitong dokumentong sinabmit ng Office of the Vice President, meron ba yung mga official receipts, sales invoice na sinabmit?
Wala po.
Isa, dalawa, tatlo. Walang sinabmit, Madam Witness?
Wala pong mga resibo po.
Okay. Now, based sa iyong audit, sino-sino ang liable persons dito sa in connection with this notice of disallowance na binasa mo? Sino-sino ang mga persons na responsible or accountable dyan sa pinakita mo?
Ang mga persons po na liable or responsible is first po the head of agency, Vice President Sara Duterte, the Special Disbursing Officer, si Ms. Gina Acosta, at ang Chief Accountant po na si Ms. Julieta Villa del Rey.
Okay. Sa document na yan, pwede bang pakita mo yung mga pangalan na sinabi mo?
Nasa page 2 po.
Showing to you page 2, Madam Witness, and being flashed on the screen. Please tell us if these are the very same persons na sinabi mo na accountable.
Yes po.
Bakit sila accountable?
Unang-una po, yung si Vice President Sara Duterte po, siya po ang nag-approve ng transaction and including the utilization of the cash advance.
Saan nakalagay dyan na siya ang nag-approve?
Yun pong sa accomplishment report. And then, kay Ms. Gina Acosta naman po, dahil siya ang Special Disbursing Officer and she disbursed po the cash advance.
Ito namang Villa del Rey. Bakit sinasabi mo na accountable officer siya?
Nag-certify po siya dun sa backseat ng liquidation report na ang supporting documents are complete and proper.
Hindi ba nila ginawa ito? Yung mga sinasabi mo na kailangan sa joint circular?
Yes po.
Yes.
It kasi po yung participation nila sa transaction, kaya po sila nasama sa persons na liable po sa transaction na ito. Dahil first, si BP Sara bilang siya ang head of agency at siya po ang nag-approve ng transaction and utilization ng cash advance. Pangalawa po, ang naging participation po ni Ms. Gina Acosta is siya po ang Special Disbursing Officer at siya po yung nag-disburse ng cash advance. At kay Ms. Julieta Villa del Rey naman po, sinertify niya na complete and proper yung supporting documents pero hindi po complete and proper yung nasubmit po sa amin.